When I first moved into the college dorms, I didn't expect anything extraordinary. Just another small room. The faint smell of disinfectant, a desk, a narrow bed, and a stranger I'd share the year with. My roommate, Daniel, looked like the kind of person you'd forget the moment you turned away. Quiet, pale, thin, he blended into the background. I thought I'd gotten lucky. But within days, I noticed things that gnawed at me. Daniel almost never spoke, and when he did, his voice was flat, like he was reading from a script. I'd feel his eyes on me at odd hours, only for him to quickly avert his gaze. At night, I sometimes woke to see him sitting up in bed, unmoving, his silhouette frozen against the faint glow from the hall. I told myself he was harmless, maybe just socially awkward, but something about him made the air heavy. One Friday night, after I returned late from the library, I found Daniel sitting at his desk in the dark. The room smelled faintly metallic, like rust. No lamp, no computer, just him, staring down at nothing. When I turned on the light, he slowly swiveled toward me and smiled. It wasn't friendly. It wasn't even human in the way it lingered. I felt my stomach twist. After that, my belongings began to shift mysteriously. My shoes appeared lined up neatly by his bed. My charger ended up on his desk. One of my notebooks, pages folded and scribbled, sat among his books. Whenever I confronted him, he just tilted his head as if I were imagining it. It was subtle, almost clever, like he wanted me to know he had touched my things, but never enough for proof. Then came the night I'll never forget. Exhausted, I collapsed into bed after midnight. The storm outside rattled the windows, but eventually, I drifted into uneasy sleep. At some point, I stirred. Something felt wrong. My arms were pinned. My wrists hurt. I blinked groggily into the dark and felt the unmistakable bite of cold metal. Handcuffs. I jolted awake. Standing beside my bed, Daniel loomed over me. His face hovered inches from mine, his eyes wide, unblinking. My chest tightened, heart hammering against my ribs. "What the hell are you doing?" I croaked, my voice trembling. He didn't answer at first. Then calmly in that monotone voice, he said, "You move too much when you sleep." Every nerve in my body screamed. He circled the bed slowly, dragging his fingertips across the back, as if studying. I pulled at the cuffs until they cut into my skin, but he raised a finger to his lips. "Shh," he whispered, not with urgency, but with authority, like a doctor silencing a patient. The storm outside masked my frantic breathing. I screamed anyway, praying someone in the hall would hear, but the thunder swallowed my voice. He stood there watching me thrash, his expression eerily calm. Then, after what felt like hours but was likely minutes, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small key. Without a word, he unlocked the cuffs, the click echoing in the silence. "Go back to sleep," he murmured. I lay frozen as he crawled into his bed, turning his back as though nothing had happened. I didn't dare move until dawn. My skin stung where the cuffs had dug in, but fear kept me rigid, eyes fixed on his sleep. The moment light crept through the blinds, I grabbed my phone and backpack and slipped out. My hands shook as I walked to the housing office. I didn't bother with excuses. I demanded a transfer. My voice cracked as I begged not to be placed back in that room. The staff didn't argue. They processed it immediately, almost too quickly. It was as if they already knew. Later, I overheard whispers. Daniel had been reported before for following students, for wandering into rooms uninvited.
but no one wanted attention drawn to it. They shuffled him quietly from dorm to dorm, hoping nothing serious would happen. I never saw him again. I sometimes wonder if he found another bed to stand beside in the dark. Even years later, I wake at night